You're watching Fox Sports.
And a very good morning from David Fordham, and welcome to the replay of the Rugby League third test match between Australia and Great Britain from Central Park in Wigan. The Australian side from fullback is Gary Jack, the three-quarters of O'Connor, Kenny, Miles and Shearer. Wally Lewis is captain at 5'8", and Peter Sterling, and the forwards of Dowling, Simmons and Dunn. Meninga in the second row, making his debut as a second row forward along with Brian Niebling, and Bob Lydner is of course the lock forward. The reserves are Terry Lamb and Les Davidson. The Great Britain side, the new look team. Fullback is Joe Lydon. John Basnett is on one wing with Henderson Gill on the other. Gary Schofield and David Stevenson in the centres. Tony Myler and the newcomer Andy Gregory at half. And the forwards of Ward, Watkinson the captain, Lee Crooks, Chris Burton, Andy Goodway and Harry Pinner. And the reserves, the two Wigan players, Sean Edwards and Ian Potter. So now let's go to Central Park in Wigan and join our commentators Rex Mossop and Graham Hughes.
Mr. Ascagney looks at his watch. And Schofield starts the ball rolling with a low trajectory kick, nicely half volleyed by Sterling, gets it to Meninga, and he's picked off with a great tackle by Crooks. Got a bit of a knock there, he's up and about. Now comes Dowling. Dowling goes under a swinging arm tackle. He's about 5 metres out, they're driving him backwards. Simmons is there to try to prop him up, plays it, looking for Sterling. Sterling gets a kick downfield, it's a midfield kick. It's going to go to Lydon. Lydon's got it, he's bringing it up. O'Connor is there, and he's picked off with a magnificent tackle by Kenny, right round the boots. 10 metres outside their quarter. Henderson Gill running from dummy half. Try to weave his way through the pack. Midway between the England quarter and halfway. Up they come now. Number 12 there, a strong burst from Andy Goodway, trying to get beyond that advantage line. Little Andy Gregory at dummy half. He's the halfback. And number 11 there is Chris Burton, the high knee action coming in there. And he's lost the football in the tackle. So Burton not having an auspicious first touch. Scrum to go down 8 metres into the England half. Watkinson last man in, the hooker, and the England pack has gone in underneath the Australians. And now Simmons has still got his head stuck out. It's a penalty to Australia. He's asked the English pack to back off and let the Australians in. They declined to do so, and he's penalised them. Wally Lewis. Oh, that's a good line kick to start with. That's taken play right up to the Great Britain quarter line. That's one area that, the only area I'm critical of in this Australian team. Sterling out to Lewis. Lewis onto Dowling. Under a high tackle there from Burton. Got a pass away to Miles. And Miles is in for a try. Miles is in for the try. A pop pass there. Absolute magnificent stuff right from the early moment. I didn't think there was a pass on. And Gene Miles has cracked them wide open. We're watching it now. The Sterling pass onto Lewis. Lewis cracks it onto Dowling. Dowling goes hard under a high tackle. Pops a pass that could well have been forward. A one-handed pass. And Mr. Ascagney has maybe erred in the opening minutes. Michael O'Connor, the big deep breath. And there he goes. That's a goal to Australia, to Michael O'Connor. So the score after only about 4 minutes here. Australia 6, Great Britain 0. On to Dunn from Simmons. He tears straight ahead. 3 defenders there, having all high, not one of them going low. You know, somebody's got to teach these Englishmen how to go in low. There's Niebling. Oh, and a head high tackle from Burton. Chris Burton came in right round the head there. And you know, it's even Stevens that can be on for the lot here if they want to tackle up there. It takes 2 to tango. We've got now Burton's being spoken to. It's very obvious what the indications are. You must tackle below the neck. And that was a bad high tackle. Dowling's a pretty tough man. Michael O'Connor will take the kick for goal. Well, Graham Hughes, a few little things happening in the game, and obviously the England forwards all fired up. We could see an explosion if they keep tackling up there. Graham Hughes.
We were saying just before the start of the game, Rex, that Burton, that's what he was there for. He's been well known. He's been sent off in international before for high tackling. He collared Niebling that time right round the neck. He's the man that will really try and rev the forwards up. I just doubt if he's match fit. I've been watching him hang out on the blind side for most of these opening minutes.
Michael O'Connor, 10 metres out from the quarter, about 25 metres in from the sideline. Now with the breeze. And it's just away to the right, so the score remains as it was. Australia 6, Great Britain 0. Australia now on to Dunn, pumping it up on the close to the ruck, only about 3 metres away from the play of the ball. Australian side stood very deep at the moment. There's a penalty. No, the referee had the whistle to his mouth. Out to Miles. Miles lobs a long floating pass out to Shearer. Shearer actually sidestepped into that tackle. That was a good one from John Bastard. Kenny. Lewis. Niebling. Out to Dowling. Dowling going hard. Over the halfway line. Was caught in a deep position there. Away to Sterling. Out to Wally Lewis. The low trajectory grubber type kick coming into play. Oh, is it going to be a beauty? Yes, it is. It's a gain of around about 45 metres end over end, and found itself over the sideline about 7 metres out from the line. Beautiful kick. Worth remembering that Great Britain will have use of this breeze in the second half, and Australia at this point lead by 6 points to 0. Ball being thrown away there, that always irritates me, and it happened with an Australian then. He threw the ball away from Gregory, who had to retrieve it. Now Gregory, a very stocky figure, big chest and shoulders, very thick thighs. It's in and out. The Great Britain side picked up by John Bastard. He ran sideways there. Myler at dummy half. On a good way. Good way about 15 metres out from his line. And another penalty going to Great Britain. Failure to get away from the tackle player. Niebling was trying to hold him down, according to Rascagne. Now Watkinson taking a long time to work out what he's going to do. So they're not going to kick for touch into the breeze. That seems fairly obvious. I don't know why. They would gain some yardage. Underneath the tackle went Pinner. He's a clever lock forward, this Pinner. Gregory. Pass out to Myler. Myler trying to pop a pass. It's picked up by number 13, our man, Linder. And he's able to get himself well and truly into good possession there. Dowling straightening it up. But these swarming defenders come in on him very smartly. Sterling. Cut-out pass across Niebling to Meninga. Meninga flops a pass out there to Kenny, and Kenny had to leap in the air to take it and did it very well. Meninga, Sterling, Dunn. Dunn hard and no compromise there. Just ran straight into the opposition player, Watkinson. Simpson. Not Simpson, Watkinson rather. Out to Sterling. Sterling dummies, weaves. He's tackled 10 metres out from the Great Britain line. Burton was the man that finally put him down. Wally Lewis. Penalty there, should be. Yes, it is. It was a Shepherd. Gary Jack was the man involved. He came there trying to come on the burst off, I think it was Wally Lewis, and he interfered with a defending player. So, Lydon. Now here's the move that came up. You can see Gary Jack overrun the man in possession, Wally Lewis, and go actually into a Great Britain defender. Great Britain still in their quarter. We've had about 20 minutes of play here. The penalties have gone to the Great Britain side by 5-4. And we've had 2 scrums to 1 for Great Britain. They're midway between their quarter and the halfway line. Crooks is the man in possession. Watkinson runs from dummy half. Tries to get a pass away, but it's very ponderous. Quite slow. Stocky man. Lee Crooks kicking. And that's not a bad kick downfield. It'll go to Michael O'Connor on about the 4th bounce. Fields it now. We'll bring it just outside the quarter before the defence comes to him. He's got Jack on the outside of him. Jack goes well, comes in away from the sideline. That's clever play. He's tackled 10 metres from the halfway line. A bust by Michael O'Connor up the sideline. Stepped beautifully. It came inside his man. A gain of about 18 metres. What wonderful skills this fella's got. Wally Lewis. A kick across field. It'll go straight to the wing three-quarter, John Basnett, who's put down hard. That was not a selective kick from Wally. Went straight to a player moving fast. Harry Pinner trying his luck through the middle of the ruck. Couldn't make much ground there. Gregory away to Ward. Ward running tough on the blind side. Niebling round the legs. Sterling round the middle. Miles round the top. Gregory out there to Pinner. Pinner lobs a nice pass out to Miler. The pass has gone to ground. Wally Lewis, I thought, might have been held back there, but the referee says no. Lee Crooks has got to pass away as he was tapped it forward, even though he had a marker. Henderson Gill, well, a scatterbrain sort of a runner. A fellow that goes all over the place. Must be terribly hard for his teammates to follow. Burton tackled. Dowling was the man. Got up very awkwardly there. Had the ball behind his back. Linden, the chick charge down. Sterling should get to this. He does manage to do that, and he's put hard under pressure. That was David Stevenson, the last tackler. Shearer, and there's a penalty against Great Britain for inside the 5. This is an opportunity for Australia to put the ball deep into their territory with Wally Lewis to kick it. Kicking to the commentary side, the main stand side. Wally Lewis from midfield. And that is a very sound kick taking play over the quarter line. Australia lead by 6 points to 0. We've had 22 minutes of play. Dowling from the tap restart. And they built him back. Some robust defence coming in from this Great Britain pack. Simmons, Lewis, Sterling, Miles. Back into Jack. Jack's on the tear. He's 15 metres out, busted a tackle. And he's taken it to within 8 metres of the Great Britain line. Bit of ordinary defence there on the inside. Can't get to his feet now. He does. On to Miles. Sterling. Sterling pops a pass there to Dunn, and Dunn's trying desperately to score in the corner. He's tackled a metre short. Wally Lewis. Oh, beautiful pass from Lewis to Kenny. Kenny away to Sterling. It's touched. Out there it goes to Dowling. Dowling away to number 13. And it's Bob Linder in for a try. Beautiful work there from Wally Lewis at the start of that build-up with a pass that barely touched his hands. Absolute genius. Great Britain now trailing by 10 points to 0. 2 tries to the Australian side. Here's the move coming up as you can see the ball going behind Sterling. He gets it out there to Dowling. And it was finally on to Linden. Look at the acceleration of this fella. Just straight through the gap there like a three-quarter. Well, he actually is three-quarter pace. Have you seen a more magic pass than Wally Lewis's in the build-up to that, Graham Hughes?
Magnificent ball from Wally Lewis. I just had to have a look at that Great Britain side, though. When that try was scored, there was 9 English players all caught on that left-hand side of the uprights. And Andy Gregory, one of the men who chased that Australian backline and chased Bobby Linder, stopped right on the try line, put his arms up and said, why don't you guys come over here and lend a hand?
Michael O'Connor, 15 metres out and about 20 metres off centre. Bruise at his back. Strikes that. It's an ordinary looking kick all over the place, but it's 2 points. So Australia lead now by 12 points to Great Britain's 0. Side Crooks goes for a high kick. It's taken beautifully on the full there by the wing three-quarter, I believe it is. Awkward position here. Yes, it is. And away they go across the field now out to Crooks. Crooks going for a kick again. Kicking into the breeze. They're trying to go over the defence. It's been taken by Kenny. Rather well too, leapt high for that, tackled by Henderson Gill. Gene Miles running from dummy half, putting him under pressure. He's caught by the legs from Henderson Gill. 12 points to 0. Australia lead Great Britain. We've had about 26 minutes of play in the first half of the 3rd test. Oh, beautifully taken again by Basnett. He's pulled off some marvellous catches, caught that bomb just a moment ago and took another one very well. Away to Myler. Myler runs from dummy half and he's belted to the ground by Meninga. Watkinson swivels around and gives it to Crooks on the blind side. Lacking support though whenever he runs. There's not a lot of trailers going with him. Gregory straightens it up. He can't get a pass away. He tries to. There was nobody on the move on the outside. I think that's what's incensing the crowd. They're booing a lot, even though Great Britain are in possession. Pinner away to Ward. Ward trying to straighten it up. He tears his way through a couple of defenders. Takes play on the last tackle to within 5 metres of the Australian quarter line. Linder gets a kick in. It's not a bad one. I think it came off an Australian player. It did, and that will be a Great Britain feed. So this is a golden opportunity for the men in white to come up with possession inside the Australian quarter. The scrum screwing right around here. The referee wants it to come back square. It's only 10 metres out from the Aussie line. It's in and out. They bring Henderson Gill in from the blind side. He very close to getting through the tackle there. It was Linder who pulled him down finally. Marler out to Pinner. Pinner onto Schofield. Schofield gets it away to the winger on the sideline there. Again, it was the John Bastard pulling off a very, very nice catch of the ball. He had to leap for that. He was belted over the sideline. But nonetheless, there's a little bit of flair starting to be showed by Great Britain when they do elect to move the ball wide. Sterling to feed it. It's in and out the Australian side. Sterling tackle straight away. Wouldn't be a bad idea for the referee to have a look at both the lock forwards. I think both are breaking much before the actual scrum is broken up. I'm encompassing our man Linder in that too. Miles from dummy half. A good run. There's strong defence on the side, on the blind side with Watkinson. They're just inside the Australian quarter. Dowling pumping it up. Strong play again. Simmons looking for work on the blind side, but gives it to Dunn on the open. Dunn running hard. Couldn't quite release his arms there. He had Gary Jack on the fly. Young man desperately trying to get that ball away. Lewis gets a kick downfield. That might be one that'll be difficult because it'll roll end over end with the breeze. Gill feels it. He's inside his quarter. Kenny's there. Kenny comes at him and downs him with a copybook diving tackle on the Great Britain quarter, midfield. John Bastard running from dummy half. And just outside the quarter, Crooks comes on the blind side. 12 points to 0, Australia lead. About 30 minutes of play have gone by. As Goodway comes with a run that evades one defender. He'd do a lot better if he ran straight, though. He tends to veer. Gregory. Pinner. Cut out pass to Burton. And Myler! Myler's into the clear. He's got Schofield on the inside. He goes up the midfield of Schofield. He'll probably score. He will. It's a beautiful try to Great Britain. Beautiful try to Great Britain. Myler busted them up the middle. And Gary Schofield, the man who loves to do the Terry Lamb thing and back up and score the try, came up with a fine exhibition of backing up there, and full credit to Myler on that occasion for getting through and electing to go hard instead of kicking his head in the other test and earning everybody's ire. That was a splendid bit of work. It traversed about 55, 60 metres and is full credit to the Great Britain side. So 12 points to 4. Henderson Gill taking the kick. Schofield, the man on screen at the moment, was the scorer, but there's the man who made it. Tony Marler. All right, Schofield now. Henderson Gill having a look at the kick. He's only about 18 metres out and about 15 metres off centre. Low trajectory. It's a goal! And the loud roar proclaims that Great Britain are back in business. So the scoreline now reads Australia 12, Great Britain 6. So Gary, Graham Hughes, there's some errors creeping into the Australian side at the moment.
The last 10 or 15 minutes especially, what Australia are doing and not doing what they did in the first 5 or 10. They're standing flat instead of getting deep and hitting the ball on. It's the reverse. Great Britain are the ones that are getting deep and coming onto the ball.
Gregory, a break from a set scrum. Just his own side of halfway. Made a good weaving, dummying run. A gain of about 15 metres. Myler's at dummy half. On to Pinner. Pinner up the middle of the ruck there. Tackled nicely by Kenny. Round the boots. Gregory searching for Crooks on the open side of the ruck. Slips and falls as the defence of Dunn came to him. Again on the blind side, Ward, arguably their best forward. Watkinson get an awful pass away. It's gone to Gregory. He's wrapped up. No knock on there. Mr. Rascagney dictates. The score at this stage, Australia 12, Great Britain 6. 2 tries to 1. Henderson Gill going for a grubber kick. It'll go straight to Dale Shearer. Dale Shearer goes upfield, evades one tackle. The tackle of Stevenson was put down there by Henderson Gill, who kicked the ball. Wally Lewis, Peter Sterling, looking for Meninga, who's running very wide for a forward. Got a pass back inside to Kenny. Kenny's on the run around to Jack. And Jack's torn down about 12 metres into the Great Britain half. Good play by the Australian three-quarters. Simmons onto Sterling. Offside play out here, I thought, in the back line. Popped it past it, Wally Lewis. The ball's on the ground. It's picked up by Sterling. Sterling being hard handled there by Stevenson, the centre. Wally Lewis doing a lot of talking out there at the moment. It's on to Lewis. It's going to be a run around. He's trying to go up the blind. Got a magic pass to Sterling. Sterling to Linda. Linda can't get his pass away to Shearer, who's tackled on the quarter line. Shearer, long pass to Lewis. Another one out to Niebling. Cut out pass to Meninga. Taken out. Oh, Jack's dropped it. That'll be a knock back. The referee says play on. The crowd don't like it. I thought it went arguably sideways, but they're not real fussed about that. They wanted to knock on. On to Michael O'Connor. He's gone for a kick downfield. A midfield bomb is taken by that man who's done some beautiful things with his hands today. Bassett, the winger, came in magnificently. Just under the shadow of the English goalposts. Goodway tries to bring it away. Much more a spirited and longer lasting performance. Watkinson now tearing his way a few metres upfield to the quarter line. Gregory at dummy half. He's got it out to Pinner. Pinner onto Crooks. Crooks is running sideways, though. He's not going to make much impression on this Australian defence doing that. Schofield at dummy half. Schofield's run from dummy half. He's looking for Henderson Gill, but he takes the tackle. It was Michael O'Connor who did a very good head-on tackle there to pull him down. Gill. Crooks. Kicked it downfield. Goes to Shearer. Shearer takes it well. Goes back upfield. And he's well picked up by Lee Crooks. Being driven back downfield by Ward. Simmons has got Sterling on his right, but elects to go on the left to Dowling. Dowling just beyond the advantage line. Midway between the Australian quarter, the Great Britain quarter and halfway. Simmons onto Dunn. Dunn through one to tackle. Pops a pass. Has to be half volleyed and has done so nicely by Simmons. Pass went to ground first. On the Great Britain quarter. Meninga. Sterling. Lewis pops a pass to Miles. Miles has dropped it. It's picked up by Stevenson. Stevenson goes upfield. He had support outside in Goodway, but couldn't offload. Now Goodway pops a pass there to Ward. Ward stands in a tackle. He's got it away there again nicely. Out to Goodway, who's been involved with several times. They're keeping the ball alive. Stevenson and the crowd rise to the Great Britain side as they are making hay of some of these Australian errors. Gregory. Pinner, Burton, Wally Lewis trying to steal the ball from him. 5 metres the England side of halfway. Henderson Gill looking to run from dummy half. He's gone well. Sterling's tried to get to him, couldn't, but Jack does and puts him down. Now Great Britain in a good attacking position. Myler goes the blind side, gets it away to his winger. Bassett goes over the Australian quarter line. 12 points to 6. Australia lead. Gregory out to Pinner. Pinner turns it back inside to Ward. Stood in a tackle. Pops the pass to Gregory. They're keeping it alive. Gregory weaves through. Got a pass to Schofield. And Schofield's tackled only about 8 metres out from the Australian line. Watkinson swings it right away to Pinner. Pinner there out to Marler. Marler throws a pass over the sideline. And the Australian hearts beat once again. They'll be saying, thank God he did, because it looked like a try in the corner if that pass had gone to hand. The score is Australia 12, Great Britain 6. And from that ball that went over the sideline, there was a scrum put out. Australia won the scrum. The referee penalised Great Britain for an infringement, and it was a kick for touch. It was a differential scrum, of course, differential penalty. Australia in possession. This is the first play of the ball now. Done. On to Simmons. Simmons trying to pump it up to Dowling, and Dowling well handled there. Gets a bit of a workout from Burton there, having given a bit himself. Simmons trying to run from dummy half. He does elect to do that. And got a pass away to Dowling. Dowling's out there to Sterling. Sterling to Niebling. Niebling takes it upfield about 20 metres. It's a good sprint. He's got it to Michael O'Connor. O'Connor puts it down on the Great Britain quarter line. One of the very rare errors this player made in any of these test matches. Now we've got a player going to be penalised and spoken to here. Royce Simmons is the man, and Wally Lewis is being told about him for, I think he was told by Russ Cagney to get back the 5 2 or 3 times and failed to do so. So an interesting second half coming up, Graham Hughes, with Great Britain having the use of the breeze.
Well, they certainly have. The one thing Australia again will be relying upon is the fact that Great Britain always tend to tire so quickly in that second half and turn it around. But they're going to have a very, very strong breeze at their backs. Lee Crook's the man that they'll be relying upon to keep Australia pinned down in their own quarter line. And Harry Pinner, the man that was picked in this team for his ball ability. What a great ball he sent out there for Mile to set up that first try.
Yes, indeed. There's the Hooters gone in the background. We were so involved in the play. So at the half-time break, a vastly improved Great Britain side has been able to retain credibility by retaining by containing the score to Australia 12, Great Britain 6. Quickly the scorers, Miles and Linda for the Australian side, Schofield for the Great Britain side in tries, O'Connor a couple of goals for the Great Britain side, and Gill a goal for Great Britain. So at the half-time break, Australia 12, Great Britain 6. Just had a supporter dressed as a kangaroo hurdle the field and run around. But anyway, the kick-off. And Great Britain receiving the ball. Let's see what their tactics are with Goodway there coming up. Sterling's right round his boots. See how long they play football in their own quarter. This will be an indication of what sort of instructions Bamford's given them. They've used up a couple of tackles there. They're still in the quarter. And they're going to do it by rote. They're going to take it up about 3 or 4 times. Now here it goes, back on the 4th. Okay, there's the kick going back downfield. It's gone off the side of his boot a little bit. Okay, O'Connor shields his face from the sun. Elects to come round, gets a pass to Jack. Jack evades one tackle and gets tackled just about 5 metres from the quarter line. Pinner was the tackler. Graham Hughes has got Terry Lamb down there, who's I know anticipating or hoping to get a run.
Terry, first real test of pressure from Great Britain in the series.
Yes, Graham, we're making a lot of mistakes out there, and they capitalise on them, and they won't give us a chance.
What was the atmosphere like in the room? What did Don Fern have to say?
He just said to be a bit more committed in our game and in defence, and mainly our markers working.
What about this Great Britain side? A big kicking game now. They've got a very, very strong breeze.
Yes, well, I tipped myself for at least a 12-point up at half-time, but it's only 6, so we've got to take it as it comes.
OK, thanks, Terry.
Thanks, mate.
The kick's been put downfield. It's taken by Schofield. Schofield's got it away to Henderson Gill, and Michael O'Connor gets him over the sideline. That was a crossfield bomb by Wally Lewis, trying to catch the Great Britain side sort of napping, but they couldn't do that. Schofield fielded it very well. Now the scrum going down, it'll be an Australian feed just on the Great Britain quarter line. And that National Panasonic Man of the Series judging is on today, as it always is. Oh, Kenny wrapped up very, very smartly then. Schofield was up on him very, very quickly. Sterling's at dummy half, away to Wally Lewis. Lewis elects to go through the middle of the ruck, forward-wise. And he does a pretty good job when he takes on the forward roll too. Here's Niebling pumping it up. He's found a big hole to run into, and he made an easy 8 or 9 metres through the middle of the ruck there, up to the quarter line. Simmons had a good run from dummy half just a moment ago too. Sterling out to Miles. Miles on the boil, but running just a little bit sideways there. He couldn't straighten it up. Burton was the tackler. Moving it out to Sterling. Sterling on to Dunn. Dunn gets a pass away. It's been pulled down by Crooks. So Great Britain in possession again. And let's see whether they do the kicking game a little bit earlier this time. Goodway coming through the middle. Brings it up to the quarter. They kicked on the 4th tackle last time. I'm going to wait that long this time. Back to Gregory. Gregory gets a kick downfield again. Again, it's gone much too off the side of the foot. It's fielded by O'Connor, who evades one tackle and brings it back very successfully about 8 metres. Gary Jack's calling for the ball on the open side. Simmons comes to him, gets it away to him. That's a good relieving run by Gary Jack up over the halfway line. It's twice Lydon has sliced the ball and attempted to kick it downfield. Simmons running from dummy half. He gets a pass away too nicely to Dowling. Dowling gets Gregory hanging onto him, and that's a powerhouse burst by Dowling. Looking for support there, he was, but couldn't get the arm free. Dunn off the edge of the ruck. Great tackle right round the boots coming in there with the fullback, Lydon. Simmons. Wally Lewis again through the forwards. Can't get his pass away at the end of the run. Last tackle coming up. Sterling moves out to the right to organise. Here he goes. He's gone for the kick downfield. It's gone up in the air into the breeze. It's been fielded nicely by Gregory. Gregory gets a pass away to Crooks. Crooks tackle from behind on the 10-metre line. So Great Britain, even though they've got the ball, got the wind, are in a little bit of pressure at the moment with failure by their fullback to get any distance with his kicks. Up to the quarter line they come. Away it goes to Pinner. Pinner gets a pass to Burton. Just 1 metre outside the quarter. And Pinner again running from dummy half, but belted back. Running out of tackles now. Where's their fullback? There's a run up the blind side. Oh, and a heavy, strong tackle. That's been, the ball was knocked out of his hands, but knocked backwards. Last tackle coming up. So they really wait till the last minute to get the ball away. That's a better looking kick. That's been driven hard and strong downfield. Gary Jack feels it on the first bounce. He's got Michael O'Connor with him. Jack gets put down beautifully by Schofield, his Balmain teammate. And now they're right up in the Australian quarter line. Michael O'Connor running around in circles, waiting for his forwards to get back on side. Some of them taking a bit of time. Gary Jack pulling off the relieving run again on the blind side of the ruck. Now they've used up 3, just getting into a strong position again defensively. Niebling, straight and hard. Ward coming in with Watkinson on the tackle. Simmons, Lewis, Meninga, Miles, popped a pass to Meninga, got it out there to Linda, the lock forward, doubling up around the back. Last tackle coming up. Great defence by Great Britain, putting Australia under a lot of pressure. Away to Wally Lewis. He's got the kick downfield. It's to the open side. It's dangerous if it goes to Henderson Gill. It does. Henderson Gill, a little bit of a shepherd there, but the referee says no. He's beaten 1, 2, 3, still going. Wally Lewis finally gets to him and puts him down 8 metres into Australia's half. Gregory running from dummy half. He's wrapped up, can't get a pass away. Dowling was the tackler. 12 points to 6, Australia lead. Watkinson, away to Pinner. Loses the ball. Knocked on by Australia, picked up by Henderson Gill. So that's a fair decision by the referee. It came off an Australian player. It wasn't lost forward by Great Britain. Burton coming straight through the ruck, getting beyond the advantage line. Listen to that crowd. They're really giving Great Britain some now. Ward torn his way right through, but lacked support. He's up to the quarter. Now Australia under pressure. Watkinson, Gregory, Pinner, Marler, good way. Crooks out to Stevenson, inside to Schofield. It's a magic try to the Great Britain side. They've laid it on out there with great hands along the 3-quarter line. And this is going to have a lot of faces very red in the Australian contingent. Let me tell you, a magnificent try. The first half try to Marler was the pick of the match so far. And here they've come up with another one, which has brought the score up to, look at it, Australia 12, Great Britain 10, a kick and goal to follow. And when we see that try again, you'll see the magnificent football that they laid on. And here it comes from a low-down shot from a low-level camera, which doesn't really display to you exactly what is all about. Stevenson back on the inside there to Schofield, and he goes in for his 2nd try. I think it's his 5th try for the series. As you can imagine, there's a very serious team talk going on as we watch the more elevated camera shot there. Again, the brilliance of that try clearly shown. Australia getting into trouble with an error. Great Britain side scored from the knock-on on this side of the field by Australia when they failed to regather a ball that had been knocked backwards by Great Britain. All right, let's see now. We've got Lydon taking this kick. Obviously he takes the wider ones out on the quarter, 10 metres in from the sideline. Strikes it. It's there! So, for the first time in the series, with the breeze at their back, we've got a scoreline that's locked at 12-all. Now to Pinner. Pinner trying to show a little bit of classy ball work. Got a pass away. It's gone to Lee Crooks, who wasn't expecting it. And he's decked just his own side of the halfway line. Some fortuitous balls when the Great Britain side have been losing the ball. They have been going to hand. Now Linden gets that kick downfield. It's going to go on the end over end into the in goal where Michael O'Connor fields it. Schofield's there. He evades Schofield beautifully. Gets it to Jack. Jack goes upfield and Henderson Gill puts him down with a beautiful tackle. Australian forwards taking a long while to come back on side at the moment. Now Mal Meninga called on to run as a forward. And he does that effectively. Great Britain player being treated at the moment, Graham Hughes.
That's Andy Good. That's Andy Goodway in back play. He's moved back into the defensive line now. I'm just trying to say, as Wally Lewis wears a headbutt here in a brawl.
And there's plenty going on there at the moment, which is nasty. The Australian player in the broad of his back was done, I believe, and he has been hit with a very high tackle. The referee, I thought, was going to penalise straight away, but he pulled the whistle down. Here's the replay. Just a minute, Graham. There it is. You can see right round the head. So the penalty deservedly going to Australia, but he should have penalised earlier, and he would have obviated the problem of that melee that started. Yes, Graham.
Chris Burton's the man that's been sent to the sin bin for 10 minutes for the high tackle, and also getting involved with Wally Lewis. He's making his way down there through his own Great Britain quarter line as Mal Meninga takes a quick tap. It wasn't on the mark, and back we go for a scrum.
Well, the referee was standing on the mark and pointed to the ground where he wanted it taken. That's an astonishing bit of football. Anyway, it's going to be a scrum, and instead of being Australia in possession, it's Great Britain in possession. We ought to log that one down, as I think is a bit of a refereeing error. But the scrum's come out Australia's way, so they got out of that. Sterling was able to pick it up at the base of the scrum and get a bit of a rough handling onto Linda Meninga. Out to Jack. Jack halfway through one tackle. 10 metres from the halfway line. Plenty of fire in this match right now. Miles running, gets it onto Dunn. Dunn goes over the top of one tackle. Crooks takes him round one leg. Simmons on the blind side to Lewis. Lewis throws the dummy. Still going. Wally Lewis on the surge. Gets it away to Mal Meninga. Long pass back in the... Oh, dear, oh, dear. It went on the bounce. It went on the bounce to Linda, the lock forward, who tried to kick it, and he kicked it over the dead ball line. Golden opportunity there for Australia. The pass from Mal Meninga was ill-directed, and Linda really couldn't judge how hard to kick it. There it is. Watch Meninga. This pass went nowhere. It was much too short, and Linda really had hit him on a stride. He had nowhere to go. All right, Great Britain come up with the ball now. Goodway coming away with it just outside their quarter. Watkinson at dummy half. Goodway trying to get round the marker. Back it goes to the fullback, Linden. He gets his kick downfield. Gary Jack standing underneath it. Takes it beautifully. Schofield, who's been chasing well, is there. And Gary Jack goes very close to getting through the tackle of Pinner. Oh, he was only held by the jumper. This crowd at fever pitch here at Central Park, Wigan. Michael O'Connor running from dummy half. Looks for support. Sterling had his back turned at that time. Simmons away there to Niebling, and Niebling hit hard by Gregory. Now Simmons running from dummy half. And again, Gregory comes up with a tackle. He's had a very strong game. Away to Dowling. Dowling chose the dummy. Got a pass on there to Miles. Miles back to Dowling. And Dowling takes it over the halfway line. What a contest we've got here. 12-all the score. The crowd absolutely electrified with a great form of the Great Britain side. Sterling has his kick charge down. It's picked up by Stevenson on the halfway line. Will we see Great Britain start to fold from a condition point of view? They're not showing any sign of it at the moment. Out to Gregory. Gregory goes back midfield where he's wrapped up there and upended. Dowling was the man. 5 metres the Great Britain side of halfway. Watkinson, Myler, Pinner. Pinner stands in a tackle, tries to get the arms free. Dunn was over the top, needling round the legs. Crowd starting up a singing chant at the moment. Goodway received a bad pass and took it well. And players interfering there with the play of the ball. Linden, the fullback, getting the kick downfield. It'll be a beauty. It is. About how many minutes to go before Burton comes back on the field for Great Britain?
At this stage, we can only have it a guess, but it'd only still be about 4 or 5 minutes before we see him back on deck.
OK, so Great Britain doing a fine job covering up the short fall of one forward. Now Sterling to feed the ball. Watkinson hasn't got his head in yet. It's in and out. Sterling runs on the open side, but his hair pulled slightly in that tackle. Linda runs from dummy half. He's broken 2 tackles. That's a good, powerful run from the young fella. Gets to his feet quickly and plays it. Simmons. Away to Wally Lewis. Lewis out to Kenny. Kenny straightens his man up. Can't get a pass away. There was a fine bit of tackling from Stevenson round his legs. Lewis. On to Dunn. Dunn belted to the ground by Crooks. They're at 5 metres short of the halfway line. On to Wally Lewis. A long pass out to Shearer up the wing. He gets round his man, goes ahead, kicks over the top. It's a race for the ball. Will Shearer get to it? He's been brought down illegally. And it's going to be a penalty try. A penalty try, well, I don't think there's any certainty in my mind that a try would have been scored. I've got to be very fair about that. The referee is empowered under the rules of the game to award a try if, in his opinion, a try would undoubtedly have been scored had an illegality not occurred. Now, he was certainly taken out of the play, but whether he would have got to the ball before it went over the dead ball line is a very moot point. Graham Hughes, did you have a recollection on that?
I really couldn't have awarded a penalty try to my own way of thinking. It would have been touch and go. He had no hesitation. He was right on the spot. That's what he's there for.
Anyway, we have a penalty try. It's been awarded and it's going to be converted by, or attempted to be converted by, Michael O'Connor. Certainly the lead-up work from Dale Shearer was of an excellent nature. He beat a man up the sideline, kicked judiciously, and in the race for the ball, Basnet did exactly what I think 99% of footballers would have done, gamesmanship. Michael O'Connor's kick is successful, so the scoreline now, it is in Australia's favour by 18 points to 12. And from the kick-off after that converted penalty try, it's been a good kick from Great Britain that's got the ball over the sideline. Kenny was unable to get to it. The scrum will go down. There's still a man short, Great Britain, you'll be aware. Burton was sin-bin for 10 minutes on a tackle on Dunn. It's in and out the Great Britain side, onto Myler. Myler out there to Stevenson. Stevenson going upfield, good step. He can't get a pass away. He does now. The ball's on the ground, but I think he might have wrapped it up himself. He has. So even though he created an error, he's been able one of his teammates, Myler, has been able to rectify it. So Australia will now have the opportunity to win the ball from their own feet in a scrum. 18 points to 12. Oh, well, Pinner was quite definitely out of the scrum there. They're both the lock forwards are infringing the rules today. The laws state they can't break from the scrum until the ball is out. Both are doing that. Gary Jack on the burst round the edge of that ruck, just outside the quarter. They're in midfield. Oh, Simmons sold a dump there to Dunn, ran from dummy half and gave the pass out to Sterling. Pops a pass nicely to Linda, who's running wide and supporting his teammates very well. Onto Meninga. Meninga gets it onto Sterling. Sterling gets up to the halfway line where he's put down. Dale Shearer, the winger, was midfield at that time. Onto Wally Lewis. Wally there to Meninga. Meninga out to Niebling. Niebling not going anywhere. The defence comes strong and hard at him. Gregory, I must again compliment. He's had a top game. There's Dunn pumping it up through the side of the ruck. Coming well. Got it past to Miles. And he couldn't handle it. That'll be a knock-on. It came very late, and to Miles' credit, he very nearly grabbed it. But it's going to be a knock-on. And this will be a Great Britain feed. 10 metres, 12 metres outside their quarter midfield. The referee wanting that scrum to be fed again. And that's a penalty. Wrong feet against Simmons. Striking prematurely. Not giving him a channel to fire for. Wyden's kick is a good one, up over the halfway line by about 12 metres. Let's see what they do from the tap restart here. Henderson Gill now gives it on to Watkinson, who'll start it up. Here we go, on to Ward. Ward, a workhorse in this Great Britain side. Played it very badly at 6 to go, and they do persist in walking around the marker who's standing in front of them. Henderson Gill running from dummy half. Tackled on the Australian quarter. Graham, you'll give me notification when Burton comes on.
Burton has moved to the tunnel. He's just waiting for the OK to go to the...
Marler right through the middle, gets interfered with Raskagni. He's gone around one man, he's tackled. Mr. Raskagni was down on the ground. Marler sort of ran into him a little bit. It's away to Pinner. Pinner, the long lob pass, being taken well out there by the winger, and it's Bastet who came forward in a diagonal run, nearly penetrating Australia's defence. There's a penalty been awarded. Failure to get off the tackle player, don't do that. Paul Dunn, don't kick the ball away and compound the error. They must take the kick at goal. My director, Alan Catt, will tell me how much time we've had. Still 18 minutes to go, according to Mr. Catt. And that will bring us up to a time when the temperature will still be about 2 or 3 degrees. There's Burton there, you can see peeping round the policeman. He's the man that was sent from the field for that high tackle. Wyden taking the kick at goal. Henderson Gill getting a bit of a massage there at the moment. And there's the kick, it's successful, so that scoreline now moves to Australia 18, Great Britain 14. Lee Crooks in possession for Great Britain, 10 metres out from the Australian quarter. Watkinson, Gregory, Myler, Pinner, Schofield. Schofield's got support in Stevenson, and it takes a top tackle there from Linda to get him adrift. And that was another continuation of the good form by Linda. Ward running crossfield, heavily built to the ground by Paul Dunn. Australia on the rack at the moment. That's the first time I've said that in this test series. Gregory, dummies, back on the inside to Henderson Gill. He basketballs it straight to Ward. Ward goes hard and straight, but Jack comes over the top. And Dowling's underneath. They're only about 8 metres out now. 10 perhaps. On to Gregory. Gregory to Crooks. Crooks pops a pass to Myler. And up they come in twos to belt him to the ground. It's Potter at dummy half. Last tackle. What are the tactics? Going to be a drop at goal by Schofield. It is. So they reduce that deficit very slightly. 18 to Australia and 15 to the Great Britain side. Whee! Fasten your seatbelts. The last, 10 minutes, 12 minutes of this game is going to be absolutely fraught with all sorts of drama. Can the Kangaroos, there's the replay, a conventional field goal attempt taken without any pressure in the last 10 minutes right now. There's a kick being charged down, being taken as a reflex catch by Burton, and Burton is tackled, and the referee has ruled that it's a handover. So, Australia come up with possession here. Dunn on the halfway line. They've not been able to camp in the Great Britain territory. Jack on the surge out wide. Things have looked promising from time to time, but they've not been able to sustain the same deal of pressure against a vastly improved Great Britain side. Mal Meninga has been a partial success in the forwards for Australia. Obviously a little adrift with his positional play. Niebling, a nice pass to Sterling. Sterling looks for support and ran into terrible trouble there as he stepped into Myler and Gregory. Check. Lewis, Dunn, Meninga, pass away, picked it up, no knock on, got it out to Shearer. Shearer's taken to the ground about 15 metres from the Great Britain quarter line. Some messy play coming up now. Gene Miles gets a pass away to Shearer. Shearer gets into the Great Britain quarter. 18 points to 15. There's Roy Simmons running round behind the defence. Got it to Wally Lewis. Wally throws a dummy, another dummy, and Lewis has gone under the post. An incredible solo try from Wally Lewis may well have gained Australia just that little bit of a breathing space here that'll hold them away from this Great Britain side. They punched it up the blind side a couple of times. Dale Shearer was in there for a while, made a bit of an inroad, then Wally Lewis went up there throwing dummies left, right and centre. The Great Britain side, for one of the rare occasions, hung off. Royce Simmons was involved, and that is a critical score right underneath the posts at this late stage in the game. And there's the score, 22 to 15. We watch Royce Simmons running and popping the pass. Now watch Wally Lewis. You'd swear he was in a dummy factory. He's throwing dummies all over the place. And then not only is he able to go, Sterling's belting him and saying, go round, go round. And that's where he scored, right near the right-hand upright. Michael O'Connor with a kick to come. Michael O'Connor, 10 metres out, a few metres off centre. Successful. The scoreline now moves on. Australia 24, Great Britain 15. Just on the Great Britain quarter line, the score still 24 to 15. The kick ahead's been taken. Sterling falls on it. Rather lucky for Australia there. Gregory went with a little kick over the top. Lewis is like a traffic cop out there directing traffic. Gets it away to Brett Kenny. Kenny's on the weave. The pass is knocked down. It's picked up by Gregory. Gregory's upfield. It's a good sidestep, and he's lost the football backwards, and it's picked up by Australia's replacement, Les Davidson, who was following close behind. Didn't play that football. Should have been penalised. It's gone on there to Brian Niebling. And Niebling has made about a 15-metre gain. On to Wally Lewis. The Great Britain side just starting to show signs of lagging now. Not able to get back on side quickly. On to Sterling. Now Davidson. Davidson running hard. Cops one, but gets a pass away to Simmons, who knocks on. And that, with a couple of minutes to go, is going to give Great Britain a last opportunity. But they've got to score a try and kick a goal to even get close. And that's not going to be good enough. Getting quite overcast here at Wigan, and cold, believe me, it's cold. Wally Lewis again doing a lot of talking out there. And the referee not happy with the way the front rows have not gone down. They are down now. It's in and it's out. But Gregory should have been penalised there. He didn't retire at any stage. And Sterling agrees with my summation. He was round on the Australian side. Now Sterling is around the legs of Potter. Time running out. Gregory, good way. Running in that sort of diagonal fashion. Graham Hughes, you've got news.
Well, just as Great Britain try and make their way upfield again, Terry Lamb is going to play in all these games on the England tour. He's on the sideline to replace Mal Meninga.
Okay. Well, he'll probably come in as lock forward, and Linda will go into the second row, one would think. Now, Great Britain still not giving up on this job. Ward tries to straighten and is knocked backwards, but it regathers his forces and goes upfield, makes a good inroad. Took a good tackle there from Davidson to put him away the second time. Schofield onto Gregory. Gregory out to Pinner. Pinner to Henderson Gill. He's up the sideline. Gary Jack comes at him and brings him down, and he's over the sideline, only 5 metres out from the Australian line. Sensations continue to come in this match. Terry Lamb will just about get on the field here. Alan Catt, time to go, please. 1 minute to go, so Terry Lamb will be allowed on the field. Mal Meninga being called off, and it'll be a scrum to go down with an Australian fee. And here's a replay of that. You'll see the cover work done by Gary Jack. Just managed to get him over the sideline. Well, the crowd has been told us there's something in the order of 20,000, which would put it under the 100,000 they need for the series, but it looks more than 20,000 to me. But I'm no judge of a crowd at Central Park, I hasten to add. 24 to 15, scrum about 8 metres out now from the Australian line. It's in and out the Australian side. Sterling swung to the ground by Gregory. Lamb's going to get his first touch of the football here. There's Terry Lamb. He gets it away to Wally Lewis. Wally Lewis goes strong and hard and takes it beyond the advantage line. And Terry Lamb, your second touch of the football was a knock on. And that's a misfortune. The time going to run out on this match, but what a turn-up it's been. Great Britain have certainly got something to build on. I feel rather pleased for Maurice Bamford in a way, because he's received so much flack from all and sundry over here. It's in and out, beautiful clean heel. Wait a mile out, the run around, the double around actually to Pinner. The pass has gone finally to Gregory, who's back slam, and just as well he was. There was plenty of room out there on the right. Miles was the man who did the slam. Henderson Gill trying to use himself as a battering ram, about 15 metres out from Australia's line. Schofield looks up the sideline as Lee Crooks, as he takes it up the blind side. Now, can Great Britain get a try in the dying stages? It's on to Andy Goodway. He's within about 5 metres before he's put down. And there's the hooter in the background, and that's the end of the section. A magnificently fought out third but not deciding test match, won by Australia 24-15.
This has been a presentation of Fox Sports.